Welcome back to the show. Let's continue our interview with Paul Kelly, the president and general manager of Longport Media. Paul, listen, we just left off a little bit talking about the legacy of WOND, one of the 30 best managers radio. Tell us about that award.
Oh, well, so yeah, look, it's great. There's a publication, an industry publication called Radio Inc. magazine, and every year they put out a list of the 30 best managers in radio, and I've been lucky enough to be on the list for the last 3 years running. It's a nationwide award. Here's the thing, like, I'm grateful for the award. It's great. Obviously, somebody's got to nominate you in order to get the award, but I will tell you this. Being a great manager and getting an award like that is really more about the people that you've got working for you. At the end of the day, it's all about the people that you have working at your company. I mean, that's what makes it easy. I mean, for me, my whole thing is let me hire people that I can trust to do their jobs and I can leave them alone and not have to micromanage them. You know, let me hire this guy because he's good and let him do the thing that I hired him to do. Like, it's a really simple concept. Right. Not a lot of people do it that way, but I'm all about it. Hire good people, let them do their thing.
And when you say that, not micromanaging, I think a lot of it has to do with power. People get that in their head that they have to run. But I guess one of the things with radio or whether it be TV, you want your folks to be creative, whether in the sales department or the talent on the air. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. You want people to be able to, look, everybody's different, right? Everybody, what works for you may not work for me, vice versa. So to try and kind of shoehorn people into doing things one specific way usually isn't a good idea. You know, like the sales department, for example. Some people love to go out and meet people face to face. Some other people like to call businesses on the phone. Other people like to go to networking events. Different things work for different people. Everybody has their own style, and I totally embrace the idea that hire somebody, let them let you know what works for them, what's going to make them a more productive employee or team member, and then let them do their thing.
Right. And we're a growing company, so I didn't mean to transition into this, but we're always like kind of looking for, not always, I'm saying with a growing company, you know, there's all types of different jobs. I mean, it's just not the radio. Talk about some of the different positions that are in now.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 different radio stations, right? 4 very different radio stations, different formats. In addition to that, we have a full-service in-house digital marketing department now. So we're not just a radio group. I like to say we're the total marketing solution for your business. So any South Jersey business...
I think I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah. Any South Jersey business who wants to reach a specific customer, we can do that for them, whether it's over the air, whether it's through a digital marketing campaign, whether it's through promotions, giveaways, live events. Basically, if you have a target customer that you're trying to reach, we can find that person and reach them for you.
That's awesome. Listen, we got a little Sirius XM. Talk to us about that now. You've been with this over a decade now, correct?
Yeah, so it's funny. I love football, always have since I was a kid. You're a football guy too. Been playing fantasy football now for 35 years, right? And a friend of mine has his own fantasy football business. It's a website packed with information and analysis and all that. And he said, hey, how would you like to host a fantasy football podcast for my website? This is back in 2010. I said, absolutely, I'll do that. Sounds like fun. We do the podcast for a couple of months, and then he calls me and he says, hey, Sirius XM is starting a channel that's fantasy sports 24/7. How would you like to do a show there? Of course. Of course I'll do. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, basically just do the podcast on the channel. And that was 13 football seasons ago. So I've been hosting Sirius XM Fantasy Football mornings for the last 13 years. I do that 3 days a week. Year-round, 52 weeks a year, even in the off-season. And then during the football season on Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern, when all the games kick off, I do a live show from 1 all the way until 7 Eastern, bouncing around from game to game, letting you know what's happening.
Wow, that's got to be some, lots of information, lots of data and whatnot. How do you prepare for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that show is relatively easy to do, right? Because I'm reacting to what's happening as these games are unfolding. But it is so much fun for me because, again, as a kid, I loved radio, loved football. Put those two things together, and I've got my gig at Sirius XM. So I am so thankful for it. It is so much fun. And technology being what it is now, I do my show right out of my place, right out of my home. I don't even have to go anywhere, which is great. I can roll out of bed in the morning, and I'm on the air.
And that's beautiful. You struck me back a little bit a few minutes ago when you said 35 years. Has it been that long since fantasy football's been around?
Yeah.
Has it been? I mean, it just seems.
But it really didn't take off until the internet, really.
Right.
I mean, the internet is what made it take off. When I first started playing fantasy football, you would have to get the newspaper on Monday, find the box scores, and then manually add up your scores and your points and all that by hand. And if there was a late game on Sunday night, Monday morning's paper wouldn't even have that. You would have to wait until Tuesday to find those stats. So once the internet happened, it really took off.
It sure did. I mean, it was something I remember back at the jail where I worked. The guys would literally, they would take my daily news. I wasn't a big fantasy at the time, but they would take my daily news, my bulletin, actually, even that was way back, in the press of Atlantic City, and use it. I was like, what are you guys doing? Why don't you go, you got to start giving me some money to buy these papers. Yeah. But again, it's just, it's another way of getting information out. And I know we're talking sports, and then earlier we were talking news and whatnot, but the importance of getting information, I mean, empowerment through information, whether it be the news at WOND or what you're doing, talk to us about the importance of that. And I know you touched on it a little bit with the, only not 90% of people still listen to radio, but the importance of it still.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty now, I mean, look, today, now more than ever, people can get information in so many different ways, right?
Right.
And we get it so quickly now, and in many cases right in the palm of our hand, right on the phone, we can get any breaking news story that's happening, right? But I think that, something that we are very proud of at Longport Media in terms of our radio product is that while that news is happening, you may get the story on your phone, you may see it on TV, whatever it is. On the radio, you will hear local hosts like yourself talking about it, local people calling in to talk about what's happening in the neighborhood, in the town, in the city, events coming, all that kind of thing. And, again, that's something that is uniquely radio. So that's something that is very important to the community. We're very proud to be able to provide it.
So, Paul, tell us a little bit about the community initiatives over at WOND, Longport Media.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's very important for us to give back to the community. We just wrapped up our annual Operation Help campaign. As you know, you're a big part of that, where every year our mission is to collect food and monetary donations for the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, Southern Branch. And there are 70,000 food insecure people in Atlantic County, Cape May County, Cumberland County. Our mission every year is to make sure all 70,000 have a nutritious meal for Thanksgiving. And it's amazing the outpouring of support we get, not only from businesses, the casinos, local businesses, all that, but individuals as well wanting to help pitch in. Because, I mean, the reality is, these are your neighbors, these are your friends, these are people you encounter every day. So we just wrapped up that big initiative, and it went really well. We're very, very thankful that we can do something like that.
And it was an honor to be part of that. Paul, we got about a minute left. Last word to you, my friend.
Okay. Just, thanks for having me here. And again, it's been thrilling being back here at Stockton. I have two wonderful daughters who are going to start school here in the fall. That's really exciting because it's been so long since I've been here, and I've been here with them now looking around, and I'm like, I can't believe this place and what it's become. And they're excited to start here in the fall. I'm excited for them. I get to kind of relive it a little bit, right? Because I was here, and I absolutely love it. I really do. The mainland campus is spectacular, and now the Atlantic City one as well. So it's just amazing to see what it's become. Really great.
We love what you're doing at Longport Media and Sirius, and also we love what you're doing here at Stockton University, folks. Thanks again to Paul Kelly, President and General Manager of Longport Media, for joining us today. We appreciate it, brother.
My pleasure.
Be seeing you. And again, I want to thank you, too, for giving me a chance on the radio. I love it. I have a great time with it. And all our viewers and listeners and whatnot enjoy it, too. So thank you so much for what you're doing out there.
Thank you.
Folks, stick around. We'll be right back with our next guest.